Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Will Wareham with WHHI-TV. Today we're coming to you from Spring Island, which brings us to our first guest, John Strother with Spring Island Realty. We're also joined by two of Spring Island's most recent residents, Sherry Maloney and Jocelyn Liss. So stick around for more 843 TV, where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak. Welcome to 843 TV. Today we're joined by John Strother, Jocelyn Liss, and Sherry Maloney. Thanks y'all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're out on Spring Island, and Jocelyn and Sherry, y'all are fairly new residents to Spring Island, is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is it.
Where did y'all come from?
I came from the Chicago area.
Okay,
And I'm from New York.
okay. And how did you hear about Spring Island, or how did you find Spring Island?
Well, for me, my husband had family down here on Hilton Head, and so we came down for a visit. We saw an ad for a house in the Journal on a Saturday and decided to hop over and take a peek. When we came over the bridge onto Spring Island, it felt like we were alone and on our own place, and we just fell in love with it. It was so natural, and you couldn't tell that there were a lot of buildings and so on around, so we loved it immediately.
Yeah, I kind of felt right at home right away.
Yes.
Same goes for you, Jocelyn?
I had a similar experience. I looked at a lot of places around here in the Bluffton area. My husband has an office in Bluffton, and they were all the same. And when I came over the bridge and I drove up Main Street, I said, this is it. I got out of the car, I said, this is it. And then I convinced my husband.
That took a year and a half, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Well, it's certainly a unique place and one that has a feel of its own, that's for sure. And so let's talk a little bit now about, when you decided to make the move.
Yes.
I understand, Sherry, you're in the process of building a house here on Spring Island, is that right?
That's right. So we bought our lot about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And we've been back and forth renting guest houses or one of the cottages here so we could spend some time on the island. And 14 months ago, we started construction.
Okay.
And we'll be moving in 2.5 weeks.
Oh, well, congratulations.
So, very exciting. Yes, thank you.
And so can you tell us a little bit about the process of finding a builder and an architect and how that all went around?
Right. So the real estate office was really good in recommending some builders. We interviewed 3.
Okay.
We went around and looked at houses that they put up here in the area, and when we chose one, he's right locally, and we were able to go to his office and start working on our plans.
Right. And is this kind of a design that you all had envisioned for a while, or did he help guide you along the process?
He did guide us, yes. Of course, we don't have any experience in building a house. It's our first adventure, so he helped us, but we did have specific things that we wanted to do and to have come alive, and it's actually happened.
Right,
So,
right.
We know I think it's amazing. When I came up to your house yesterday and I drove in, it was high tide, and I drove up in front, and it was this glass front, seeing through the glass back, and this beautiful oak tree over the marsh, and it was high tide. It was really incredible.
That's right. So one of the things we wanted to make sure we did was capture the environment, because Spring Island is so beautiful.
Yes.
And we were able, with our architect's help, to orient the house so that we have the best views. We also wanted to make sure we captured the breeze, because the breeze is really important here. And he just went above and beyond our expectations, and we love our house. It's a little different than many of the other houses. It's unique. It's got a contemporary feel, and it's everything we envisioned.
Very cool.
And I think one of the great things about the island is that all the homes are different, and they all have privacy. You can't really see them from any of them from the main road. The main road, from the dirt road. But everybody gets to have their own character in their home, which is really nice.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about you finding your character and you and your husband finding the house that you eventually purchased, because you purchased an existing home, is that right?
We purchased an existing home. We looked around a lot. It took a year and a half to get my husband here, and for us to find the right home for us. And we came here wanting to downsize, and we ended up with a compound. But it's a great compound, and it's nice. We have a guest house, we have a carriage house, and an art barn, and a 2-bedroom house. So we live in the 2-bedroom house, and then everybody's coming to visit. We're bringing all our friends to Spring Island, and they're moving here too. Yeah, we actually, when I came after the first time I visited Spring Island, I was so excited. I went home and I told one of my friends who lived in Vermont, I told her about my experience here and how that I found the place I want to live. And she said, next time you go, we want to come. So the next time we came to look for a house, they came with us, and they ended up buying that weekend.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Before you.
Before us, so the pressure was on for me to find a house.
Okay, so they bought a place before you did.
They bought a place before we did.
And can you just kind of describe the shopping and buying process a little bit with Spring Island Real Estate?
Well, John was incredible, and we've become good friends. He spent a lot of time with us. Everything is so different that there was a lot to see.
Sure.
But they also didn't stay on the market very long, so you have to act when you see something because things go here.
Yes.
And which was encouraging for us too, you know?
Right, absolutely.
So, but it took us a year and a half to find the right home, and it turned out that we went back to one of the first houses that we saw, which I think is not uncommon for people when they're shopping for a home. But again, I wanted to downsize, and I ended up with this this compound.
You got 4 small houses.
I got 4 small houses.
Well, this is fantastic. Would you all mind sticking around for one more segment?
Sure.
We'll take a quick break and be right back with more 843 TV. Welcome back to 843 TV. We're on Spring Island. We're joined by John Strother, Jocelyn Liss, and Sherry Maloney. Jocelyn and Sherry, we've talked a little bit about finding your homes, building your homes, finding your homes, and that was part of the appeal for Spring Island. But there's quite a few amenities here that you can take advantage of that I imagine had to add to your excitement about moving here.
And more so than the home.
Right.
That's what drew us here. Aside from the beauty, there's so much to do. And for me, I wanted the next phase of my life to be different from the previous phase. And there's a lot to do for people who have a passion for things, but someone like me who is a dabbler in many things, I've already taken art classes, horseback rode, I kayak every day, I play mahjong where Sherry and I met. There's the most fabulous gym and exercise classes, and you can get involved in as little as you want or as much as you want. Yesterday I spoke to somebody about the concert committee here. There's the farm, which is incredible. That was a big selling point to me, that I can go and actually pick my vegetables for dinner and I don't have to do any of the work. And it's the most beautiful farm. So you can do anything.
You can do anything. There's also, we have a chicken coop, and you can join the co-op there, and you're a chicken tender. I am a chicken tender.
Nice.
And so that's really fun. And I too love that you can go to the farm and you can just pick your meal, go home, wash it, and dinner's done. So that's really wonderful. For me personally, the fact that there was a equestrian facility here, I brought my horse with me.
Okay.
And he is learning how to do trail rides. So that's a big thing for us right now. We have a wonderful barn manager, really good, grooms and helpers, and the turnout is fabulous.
Yeah.
So,
And the golf,
Yeah,
too.
the golf, I was
Not
about
to
to say.
mention the golf and
right.
the tennis and
It's the Arnold Palmer Golf Course, right, John?
the
Yeah,
pickleball.
fantastic.
pickleball.
So you mentioned that y'all met at Mahjong.
That's correct.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that strikes me that's unique about Spring Island is the connections that you make here through the social outlets. And Mahjong is just one of the an example of something that you can do to generate friendships with other people on the island. Is that right?
Yes, definitely. And it's like living in a camp. And when you live with people, if you remember from when you were a kid, when you live with them, you connect very quickly, and you
Right.
get to know people very well, very quickly here. And everybody is so welcoming and warm, and they have an ambassador program here. So when you're new, they assign an ambassador to you, which is an old timer.
Yeah, kind of like a camp counselor.
Somebody
Right.
who lives here and who shows you the ropes and introduces you to people, and that's a great program. That was really helpful to us, because moving to a new state and a new way of life can be daunting.
Absolutely.
And when we came here thinking we would be here part-time, and we bought in October, and we love it so much we sold our house.
Oh, yeah?
And we're moving full-time starting June.
Very good.
Fantastic.
And last time we were here, we were speaking with Porter Galloway over at the Art Barn, and Sherry, you mentioned joining the heavy metal group. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the heavy metal group is a metal working group, and they get together several times a month and weld projects. They just recently did an item for sale at a gallery in Hilton Head. There are artists from the island who are showing there, and they collectively made a piece that's there. There's also, as Jocelyn mentioned, different classes for painting. I recently got involved in their clay class, which was fabulous, and I'm really hooked into that. There's so much to do and choose from that it's really funny. Normally when I called my children and we'd talk, because Sunday's Call Your Mom Day,
Sure.
and they'd want me off I got to go do this. Now I'm saying, honey, I have to go. And they're like, Mom, no, you don't get to do that. That's what I do.
Yeah, the arts program, not just the metalworking, but there's a performing arts program, and just the opportunity to interact. And in my experience, it's almost like you're enjoying it so much that you want to bring everybody to experience it themselves, don't you? You kind of want to say, come on with me and check this out.
Yeah, that's right. Once we move in, then we'll do what Jocelyn's already started and get our friends down here and start.
Right.
We have two couples that have purchased that who came to visit us here and now already have bought.
Yeah.
And we're hoping for more. We're taking over.
Very good. So this is all part of the Spring Island Club, is that right? Some of these amenities and activities are all part of the Spring Island Club. Spring Island Club.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You have to be an owner of property to
join the club.
To join the club.
And all of these options are then available to you.
Yes, and another one that we didn't mention is the clay shooting. I've been shooting,
Oh yeah.
which is
good for
completely
you.
new for me.
Wow.
Yeah, with all the golf, the water, the sports, the arts, Spring Island really has a lot to offer. So thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And stick around for one more segment of 843 TV. Welcome back to 843 TV. I'm now joined by John Strother of Spring Island Realty. John, thanks for joining us again today.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. So we are here on another fabulous Low Country day, and the Low Country is getting a lot of press.
It is, isn't it? You believe it?
I got a Southern Living in the mail yesterday. We had Savannah, Charleston, and Beaufort all featured in that magazine. And I was thumbing through a Coastal Living, and I saw just one of the spectacular homes you've got here at Spring Island with a big feature about that home in Coastal Living magazine. Can you tell us a little bit about some of these homes out here that are just so unique? and so appealing to
Yeah.
some of these buyers who want to move to the Low Country.
Yeah. It must have been in a doctor's office or a dentist
That's
office,
right.
because I think that was last October, but it's a beautiful home in coastal living. And it was designed by Historical Concepts.
Okay.
People come here, we only have 400 home sites on the 3,000 acres. So people come, and we have big sites, 1, 2, 4, up to 20 acre home sites here. So we have the room,
Yeah.
we have the privacy that would surround these lots that people are looking for. And so we have a lot of prominent architectural firms. Like the one that you saw in Coastal Living is a home up on Bonnie Shore, and it was designed by Historical Concepts. And they're a very popular architectural firm now. They just opened an office in Manhattan, and but they're based in Atlanta, and they design all over the country now. They have almost 60 designs of homes here. They're just incredible, and the detail that they have is amazing. Like currently I have a home listed at 7 Ricegate Circle that is almost 300 feet long. It was in Southern Accents several years ago, and it's just a beautiful home overlooking the marsh and this pond. The bird life's incredible. It's a big site with all you see is trees and marsh and pond and birds. It's just amazing. And this incredibly long screen porch with 3 cottages at the end. So you have the 3 cottages where your guests stay. The guy that built it had 3 sons, so 1 cottage for each son. And kind of like Jocelyn, you know, she's got more houses she knows what to do with. And then the main house too. So it's a 6-bedroom house. It's really beautiful. The attention to detail is great. We have another home. We just started having a lot of really upscale homes come on the market. One at 206 Spring Island Drive. It was designed by Roger Goodwin in Atlanta. So this house was 4 years in the making. It was really a passion of love with the people that own it. The detail in it, the attention to detail is just incredible. It's the type of home you never see anywhere. So it's particular to Spring Island, and as are so many homes here. We have 270 that are they're all different and all really sporty.
I think some of the other communities around here, you don't get the unique look and feel across the different neighbors. You know, you kind of, some of the houses are all built by the same builder, and they kind of fit in the same kind of vein. But here, that's not the case. You've got a variety of different architects, a variety of different builders, and a variety of different people.
Yes. And they like different things, and really it's the size of the home sites here. And we have a nature curtain that surrounds each home. And Jocelyn spoke a little bit to that, where you have the privacy. So you have nature surrounding here, and it does 2 things. It gives you a lot of privacy. It brings the outside in. And also, no one can see what's next door, or no one can see from the road what's back this winding drive. And so our covenants don't specify one style of home. It has to be a pretty cool home.
Right.
And so that, you know, that privacy gives everybody the freedom to design what they want.
Yeah.
Sherry, let me tell you about Sherry's house. Joel Newman of Thomas and Denzinger did that. That is just an amazing modern thing. You drive up and you're looking at the marsh, the sun on the marsh in the mornings. It's just incredible. And the features inside are so different. It's just an amazing house. We've actually started going around taking pictures of the houses people are completing.
Right.
It'll be the last time anybody sees them for a long time. You know.
Speaking of cool houses, you mentioned before we started filming about an architect out of Hilton Head named Matt Taylor.
Yes.
And he's doing some pretty cool stuff.
Well, you know, he is. I went into a man's house, one of the first houses built on the island, and it was a cedar shake, white trim, gray, you know, and it was an unusual house, very unusual, but kind of low country-ish or Cape Cod-ish. And then several weeks later, I was in another house. It was a ultra-modern, slab concrete, windows, open. You know, it was just an amazing home. It turned out he designed both of those homes.
Wow.
It's the only 2 homes he'd ever designed here on Hilton Head. And I was like, I got to meet this guy. Because to go over here and to go here, that's normally not what architects do.
Right.
They usually have a niche. So he showed me a house he'd done in Sea Pines, a $70 million house there on the ocean. Really an amazing house. Patterned after the house that he had done here on Spring Island,
is
the
that right?
modern house here, yeah. It was really incredible guy. And, but just one of the many different innovative architects that do work here.
Absolutely.
On Spring Island. Yeah.
Well, John, I got to tell you, these homes that you're showing us today are some of the most impressive I've seen in a long time. So thank you very much.
Will, it's always a pleasure.
And thank you for watching 843 TV, where communities come